Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Jumaini Siregar. I'm going to talk about the proposal of mine. The title is An Analysis of Cohesive Devices in EFL Students Essay Writing. So we start from the chapter 1, Introduction, a background of the study. In English, there are 4 language skills that should be developed and achieved by the students, which are divided into 2 categories. The first is the receptive skills, consisting of listening and reading, and then the last is productive skills, consisting of speaking and writing. Writing as one of the 4 skills that should be mastered by students has always formed part of the syllabus in the teaching of English. Taufik Rahman 2017 informed that writing has an important role in academic success in order to help students develop their linguistic competence, having been learned as well as their thoughts and or ideas through a written form. In the writing class, it is demanded from the students to show their skills in writing in the foreign language. Essay writing is one of the major skills required for the student's academic success. An essay is a group of paragraphs that develop one central idea. In other words, the essay is an article containing opinions, views, or personal expressions about an ongoing things in society. In order that the purpose of an essay is conveyed properly, an essay must be written as well as possible in order to create a good essay. It is according to Redmond and Maples 2017. However, writing is considered as the most difficult skills for second language or foreign language learners to master. According to Richard 2010, writing is the most difficult skill to master for foreign language learners. This is due not only to the need to generate and organize ideas using an appropriate choice of vocabulary, sentence, and paragraph organization, but also to turn such ideas into readable text. And then Holiday and Hassan 1976 emphasize the importance of cohesion in discourse in order to achieve well-constructed and understandable writing. The relationship between sentences in a written essay must be organized continuously and form a cohesion. Therefore, the cohesiveness of meaning and form on the written essay is one of the important factors in order to improve the level of legibility. A good essay should pay attention to the relationship between one sentence and another within a paragraph, and between one paragraph and another within an essay. A complete paragraph generally consists of several sentences. For the purpose of making sentences form a good and effective paragraph, the basic requirements that should be noticed are cohesion. Okay, but in real life, the phenomenon is writing can be classified as a good writing if readers easily understand it. For this reason, students have to write down what they have in mind on their writing cohesively and coherently. However, most of foreign learners tend to encounter difficulties while writing essays because the ability to produce a well-written essay in another language cannot be achieved naturally. So this is the phenomenon that I have got. And then the focus of the research to prevent the misunderstanding and to clarify the problem based on the background of the research. This research focuses on investigating grammatical and lexical cohesion on EFL students' essay writing, concerned with the use of grammatical and lexical cohesive features in sentences on EFL students' essay writing by using Holiday and Hassan 1976. And then for the research questions, what are the types of grammatical and lexical cohesive features used on students' academic essay writing? And then what are the frequent types of grammatical and lexical cohesive features used on students' essay writing? Ma'am, you already suggest me to add the supporting materials in the last meeting, but I still confused about the supporting material. I mean, if I put the supporting material, it means I need the validation, ma'am. So the validation, it is the kind of R&D research, ma'am, research and development. So I still need the discussion with you, ma'am. So I didn't put the supporting material as the research question in this PPT, ma'am. And then the objective of the research, first, to investigate the types of grammatical and also the lexical cohesive features on students' academic essay writing, and then to identify which types of grammatical and lexical cohesive features frequently found in the students' essay writing. Okay, next. This is the significance of the research. So this research is practically expected to be able to engage the students' awareness on the grammatical and lexical cohesive features and use them highly varied and appropriately in their essay writing for developing a text unity. And also this research can suggest the English educators to assist the students increase their performance in terms of grammatical and also lexical cohesive features in academic essay writing and in every genre of academic work. Moreover, the finding of this research can give valued information or knowledge for the institution to review and reorganize the syllabus of English writing course to include the explicit teaching of cohesion in the teaching and learning of writing course, engaging the lecturers to deliver the cohesion theory in their writing class. And then this research theoretically is expected to provide a contribution for some advantages in linguistic study. Particularly, the branch of cohesion improves and embellish the knowledge of grammatical and lexical cohesion in building a good and true sentence generally, and determine the direction and purpose to develop the ability in composing the sentence. Finally, this research can be used as useful information or comparison by further researchers who are interested in conducting the research regarding with the cohesion. So this is the chapter 2 review of literature. A theoretical framework. Cohesion is part of the system of a language. It is a semantic relation between one part of the sentence in the text and some other parts or sentence that is important for interpreting it. Cohesion can be defined as the links that hold a text together and give it meaning. It comes from Klimova and Hubakova, 2014. And then Garrod and Wignall explain that cohesion refers to the resources within the language that provide continuity in a text over and above that provided by clause structure and clause complexes. Hence, cohesive relations are non-structural relations which work to help a text together. While Castro 2004 question refers to the connection which links ideas in a text and causes the flow of thoughts to be clear and meaningful for the reader. Moreover, Holiday and Hassan state that cohesion is best defined as the relationship of meaning that are present or existent within a text and that shape and define it as a text. Therefore, they perceive cohesion as of a semantic concept. Thus, they concur that cohesion is successfully achieved when the comprehension and understanding of one part of the discourse relies solely on that of another. In brief, cohesion focuses on the source in language that gives continuity in the text. Okay, next types of cohesion. Halliday and Hassan systematized the concept of cohesive devices by classifying it into two big types, such as grammatical cohesion and lexical cohesion. So grammatical cohesion is a semantic relation that expressed through the grammatical system. In other words, grammatical cohesion is semantic relation among elements marked by grammatical devices, or a language used in relation to grammar. Actually, there are four types of grammatical cohesion: reference, substitution, ellipsis, and conjunction. These devices are important to the connectedness and unity in both of written and spoken text. And then there are three types of reference: personal, demonstrative, and comparative reference. And then Halliday and Hassan divide substitution into three types. It is nominal substitution, verbal substitution, and clausal substitution. Same as substitution, ellipsis has three types also: nominal, verbal, and clausal ellipsis. And then Halliday and Hassan distinguish additive, adversative, causal, and temporal types of conjunctive relations. While lexical cohesion, according to Ishani 20 and 13, lexical cohesion is concerned with the vocabulary choice, and it centers the relationship that is present between the different lexical items in a text, including phrases, words, and sentences. What is more, Halliday 19 and 94 mentions that lexical cohesion is best expressed as the cohesive result of effect, which is basically achieved through the choice of vocabulary. According to Halliday and Hassan, lexical cohesion concerns two distinct but related aspects: reiteration and collocation. Reiteration divided into repetition, synonyms, antonyms, meronyms, and hyponyms. Next, essay writing. An essay is designed to enable a student to learn three things. First, how to explore a subject area and to make a judgment about a particular issue. And the second, how to create an argument supporting that judgment using reasoning and evidence. And the last, how to write an interesting and coherently organized essay. The essay should be organized into an introduction, a body, a conclusion. Then it is important to make those parts of the essay united, known as a unity. In this respect, all ideas are linked into single topic in writing, while in essay, all ideas should relate to the thesis statement, and the supporting ideas in the main body paragraph should relate to the topic sentence. Thus, studying cohesion is crucial in the essay writing to create its unity. Okay, now about the relevant studies. There are 6 relevant studies in this study. I will start from the first. Abdel Hamid Ahmed Khalil 20 and 19 underwent the research on an investigation of the use of lexical cohesive devices in academic writing essays of grade 9 learners at an American school in Sharjah. So the differences this study with the further studies is this study only used lexical cohesive devices in analyze the writing essays, and then Taufik Rahman. The second is Taufik Rahman 20 and 17 took research on the investigation of grammatical cohesion on students' academic essay writing. And then Taufik Rahman only used grammatical cohesion. He didn't use the lexical cohesive devices in analyze the academic essay writing in his study. And then the third is Suningsi 20 and 16 examines the use of cohesive devices in students' writing. Suningsi also only used cohesive devices. I mean the grammatical cohesive devices. She didn't put or she didn't use the lexical cohesive devices. And then the fourth is Prayuda 20 and 16, who conducted the research about cohesion and coherence devices of the editorials in the Jakarta Post. Prayuda analyzed the text of newspaper, which is the Jakarta Post. And then the fifth is Hidayat 20 and 16, studies about grammatical cohesive device of the short story The Little Match Girl by Hans Christian Andersen 2016 to 2017. Hidayat only used grammatical cohesive devices to analyze the short story. And then the sixth is Mansur 20 and 15, investigate the use of cohesive devices in Iranian high school EFL textbooks. So to sum up, based on the previous research as been described, it shows that there are many cohesive devices have been conducted in various contexts, such as in the students' writing, cohesive devices of the editorials in the newspaper, like in the Jakarta Post, and then lexical cohesion in textbooks, and analysis of cohesion in short story. So, this research will explore the academic essay writing made by students of English Education Department. However, studies of cohesion in the field haven't much done yet. They only studied about one of the cohesive devices, not the whole of cohesive devices. Whereas knowing the whole of cohesive devices is very important. Therefore, this research intends to fill the gap with the focus on the use of cohesive devices in students' essay writing. This study is needed to be done to give a contribution to the theory of cohesive devices in terms of grammatical cohesion and lexical cohesion, and its contribution to English language teaching and learning in the Indonesian context. So for the further study, it will use the cohesive devices, both cohesive devices, grammatical and lexical cohesion. And then this is the conceptual framework. Cohesive devices in EFL students' essay writing, divided into grammatical cohesion and lexical cohesion. And then grammatical cohesion divided into reference, substitution, ellipsis, conjunction, and also lexical cohesion divided into reiteration and collocation. And then all of these divided into this. And then next, I will get the documentation of it and then to analyze by this conceptual framework. Okay, next is chapter 3, research methodology. Research design. This research will be conducted by using descriptive qualitative research. And then the data and data source. The data of this study is the words, phrases, and clauses that contain grammatical and lexical cohesion. The data source in this research will be taken from the text made by the EFL students majoring English Language Education Department. It is an essay. And then the technique of collecting data. In this research, the researcher will use documentation, which is the EFL students' essay writing, as instrument to collect data. And then the technique of analyzing data. After the data is collected through documentation, the researcher will analyze the data based on interactive model techniques by Miles and Haberman 20 and 14. According to Miles and Haberman 20 and 14, in this model, there were data collection, data condensation, and data display, and the last conclusion. So data collection, the researcher collects the students' essay writing drafts to be analyzed and focus on grammatical and lexical cohesion. the data condensation. In this step, the data were reduced by summarizing and choosing specific things in relation to the research questions, followed up by coding and finding themes. And then data display. After data reduction, the researcher then tabulated and displayed the data in tables or charts to give concise description of the entire data and help the reader easily interpret the data as described below. So this is the example table grammatical cohesive features in academic essay writing, and then essay, the number of essay 1, 2, and then the total, reference, substitution, ellipsis, conjunction, the frequency, the percentage. And it also for lexical cohesion, SI, the total, and then reiteration and collocation, frequency, percentage. Okay, and the last is conclusion, drawing and verifying. The last step of analyze activity was the conclusion. Based on the finding and interpretation, the data were then verified and concluded in relation to research questions. So that's all from me. Thank you very much. Thank you in advance, ma'am, for your nice attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.